Hey gang, welcome back to Joe Daddy's Garage. Today's video is going to be a product review. Now I get offers all the time of companies that want me to look at their product and do demonstrations and help them sell their products. And there are many times I just don't even return the email. It could be something not even related to my channel. They see that I have a pretty good subscriber count, 60-some thousand, and they try to get me interested in their products. And like I said, many times I turn it down. Now I've done some product reviews, and if you go back and look at my history, you'll probably see one for this. This is the LOKITHOR battery jump starter and air compressor. It also has a light on the front of it. Let me tell you, this has come in so handy. And it's a small unit. It's rated at 2,000 amps and 150 psi. It has a light on the front and the air compressor attachments on the back. If you haven't seen that review, go check it out. But LOKITHOR liked my video, and they're trying to get me to endorse another product. So they sent me another one. Now this time, this is a little bit different. They sent me this. Much bigger box, but there's a reason for that. This is a 5-in-1 kit, okay? What this has is a 2500 amp jump starter, a 200 psi pressure washer. Okay, bear with me on this. A 150 psi air compressor, 20,000 milliamp power bank, and a 500 lumen emergency light. So initially I thought, why would I need a pressure washer, right? What am I going to do with that? Well, I have some ideas for the channel in the future which may involve something like a camper. And I've talked about that on different videos and live streams. But in thinking about that, if I'm going to go somewhere in a camper, there may become a time that I could use a small portable pressure washer. So let me open up the box, show you what's inside, and we'll take a look at the features. Just to give you a quick overview, here it says in the box, your product unit, the clamps for the jump starter, 12-volt adapter, the air pump accessories, car wash accessories, water inlet / outlet pipe, nipple connector, USB-C cable, USB-A to USB-C cable, user manual, operation diagram, jump starter function, connect to clamps, connect to the car battery, press power button, and then start the vehicle, remove jump starter. The air inflator, connect to air inflator, press power, it'll go show you the bar / PSI function. Set, then long press the pump button. After you pump up the tire to where you want it, remove the inflatable hose. Okay, let's look inside. So we're going to pull the tabs out of the box. There's a piece of foam here on top. Set that aside. Inside we have the user manual. Go over that briefly. Got water hose with matching connectors on the end. Looks like a water nozzle with an on-off valve. I'm going to assume that connects to that, and it does. This is going to be a water inlet. Interesting, we've got a big bolt there, or big nut. My guess is that's a weight to help hold this down. Now, what I was thinking of, if I were going to use this in a camper or be at a campsite or something like that, and you had a creek, you could probably put this down in the creek and pump water out with it. But otherwise, I would see you putting this into a bucket or something like that. Here's another connector here. We'll go over some of that as we go forward. There's the nipple adapters. Inside of this bag, okay, we have the jumper cables, little cover on the end there to protect those. the air hose. I like these because it has this lock device on it, so you can clamp it onto your valve stem. Some fittings for pumping up various other things like an air mattress or basketball or football or something. There's your 12-volt adapter, and then here is your USB cable, and I guess USB-A, I think as they call it. So that all goes into that bag. And then there she is. So we've got some plastic on here. Pull that off. So there's your water inlet on the back side. This is your air compressor connection on the end. This is, I'm assuming, the water outlet right there. It says it specifically. There's your jump starter connection. There is your, I believe, your DC connection and a USB. So this one says out, extend and in. So they're out and in. I'll have to look at the instructions on that. Up on top, we've got a power button. So there's that. You have your wash button on this side. This is your light button. This is for setting your pressure on your air compressor. And let's see, we'll try the light. Try that and see how that goes. Oh, there it is. So strobe and SOS. All right. Now, I'm going to try to hook this up, show you how it works as far as using it as an air compressor, and I may do a little comparison between this one and the other LOKITHOR that I have. And then we're also going to hook up the water, maybe do a little washing, maybe wash a car or something like that, and I'll probably do a demonstration on the jump start function. So looking at the manual, it gives you a description of all the buttons and what they do, as I went over those, basically showing you the same thing. Jump starter gives you the 12 volts, starting current 1500 amps, peak current 2500 amps, operating temperature -20 to -50 degrees Celsius, gasoline engine rating 8.5 liter, diesel engine rating 6.5 liter. Just goes over, display screen, LED power button, all the stuff that I mentioned earlier. The air pump, inflation pressure is 10 to 150 psi. Sensor precision plus or minus 2 psi. Airflow is 35 liters per minute. Unit switching bar or psi. Other functions: built-in air pump, support tire pressure detection, preset charge and stop, air pressure unit switching. Okay. Water pump. Operating pressure 1.5. I'm not sure what MPa means. I'm not sure. Rated water flow 7 to 9 liters per minute. Maximum suction lift 5, meters. Self suction height, I'm guessing 3 meters. Maximum lift distance 100. Maximum water outlet distance 50. So apparently you can attach different hoses to this to get different length, for different purposes. Now what I have is just what I have. So maybe there's other hoses available. Power bank capacity 74 watt hours. Charging temperature 0 Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius. When I read this over here, I read that wrong. This is -20 to 50 degrees Celsius. I should not have said negative, so sorry about that. Let's see. Output goes through the various settings for the output there. Again, what comes in the box, display interface. So it shows you all of that information. You can pause that if you want, look at that. And then it goes over how to use the different things, the jump start, voltmeter function. So lots to read there. How to use the air compressor, how to operate the DC output, how to operate the water pump, So, a variety of things. Product charging, charging your phone with the USB-A, the LED light function. It gives you troubleshooting, has warning codes, so voltage error, over voltage protection, over temperature protection, low temperature protection, temperature error, product problem, charge and discharge short circuit. So some answers to that. More on the second page. Safety instructions, there's a lot to read right there. I'm not going to read all that. Precautions, warranty, looks like 12-month warranty offered from the date of purchase by the user. And it gives you some parameters you have to meet. And then it goes into, I believe, German. I think. Anyway, I don't know what that is. You can tell me. So, again, I'm going to do probably a demonstration on all this, and we'll see how it works. Okay, here's a scenario for you. Let's say you were off camping somewhere, and your vehicle ends up with a flat tire or a low tire. Maybe there's something stuck in it, who knows, maybe it just leaked out some air, and you're kind of stuck. Well, you could take this little unit, connect your air hose to the side. Pretty simple, you just unplug the little cap, thread the hose to it, tighten that up. Once the hose is connected, I'm going to turn the unit on, holding down the power button, and then I'm going to connect the hose to the valve stem. Lock that on, and then I'm going to hit the pump button. So there it's showing we have about 10 psi, and I know that this tire needs to be 44, so I just hit the stopwatch just to see how long it's going to take to pump this up. So basically about 10 minutes to pump this tire up. And just to be sure, I have my secondary gauge here. So I'll connect this. And that says 40. So this, when I disconnected it, when I stopped, it said 44. But when I turned it, the pump actually off, it went down to 40. Nonetheless, it still pumped the tire up to a reasonable pressure in 10 minutes. Okay, I'm sure many of you have seen this truck before. This is what I call Franken truck. This is the truck that I built. It's a 68 GMC cab on a 2006 Chevy 2500 HD chassis. The problem I've had with this over time is that it does not maintain a charge on the battery. Something is killing it. So I've demonstrated using this vehicle before, and I'm going to do it again. So just to show you, I'm going to open a door, put in the keys, and hit the start and see what happens. Nothing. Click, click, click. Nothing, nothing. So the vehicle's dead. Probably about as dead as you're going to get. So let's look at the instructions quick. After connecting the terminal, which connects right here, pretty simple. Take this cap off the end. It only fits in one way. It has a very specific shape. So I'm going to take that off, and it doesn't power it until I turn it on. So there's no power going through the terminals. Now, I'm going to connect that red to the positive and black to the negative. Wake up the LOKITHOR by hitting the LED light button, or I guess the power button would work as well. I'm not going to do that just yet. And then whenever you do that, or you can short press the switch button, which is the power button. And then if the connection is good, the green light on the display panel will be on and flashing, and the positive and negative voltages of the startup power supply in parallel with the car will be displayed at the same time. the car can be started at this time. So let's just hook that up and see what happens. Now in this case, I have a dual battery. It has top post and side post. So I'm going to take advantage of the top post and connect the LOKITHOR to it. Let's see if I can do this. The cables are rather short, and I want to be able to show you the front. So maybe I need to change positions here a little bit. Put this over here. Connect to the positive, the negative. Now it said you could hit the light, so I'm going to do that, and it turns it on, turns the light on as well. So we can turn that back off. And this is saying 15.3 volts. Well, I know that the battery does not have 15.3 volts. So I'm assuming that's what it's pushing into the battery. So I'm going to turn the key and see if it'll start. There it dropped down to 2.9. So it showed a 2.9 real quick. Let me come in a little bit closer. So 15.3. And I know I saw 2.9 a second ago. There, 3.3. Very low voltage on the battery. Let's see if it'll start. That was good. That was really good. When I've done this before, I had to force start the vehicle, or force start the system to make it work. But it did it without any effort. Jumped it right off. Good to go. So let's just go over that one more time. It said you can hit the power button to turn it on, okay? And if the connection was good, the green light would come on, as it did. The other thing that it mentions, if there isn't enough voltage, let's say you have 1 volt of power in your car battery and it won't start, you have to come over here and hit the bar PSI button for 5 seconds, and that's going to force it into start mode, just so you know. That's how that works. It's all in the instructions, but that was pretty good. That thing started it right up. Alright, we might as well use the hood of the truck as our bench. You will find in the kit there's this little bag that has 3 connectors. Okay, now I assume 1 is a spare. And be cautious, because when you open this up, there's a little rubber gasket inside of these. And I know that when I first opened it, one of those just kind of went away, like I dropped it. So those little gaskets. And then what you have to do is thread on, it's got threads on the inside. So you thread this onto the front. This is your outlet. And they give you this little tool. It slips over the flange and you can snug that down. So basically, if I can see it there in the camera, that's how it works. It slips over, it only fits, has like flat spots on here. Alright, so that's going to be that one. And when you turn it around to the back, you have the other one. So make sure your little gasket is in the fitting. And I'm going to snug that as well. Put that back in the bag so I don't lose that. And the spare. Now, it'll even show you here how to operate the pump itself. Gives you power, hit wash, long press for 3 seconds, and short press wash to shut it off. Portable, compact, powerful for high use, underground, garage, outdoor cleaning. Enjoy every cleaning moment. So, by the looks of it, this is your inlet. So if you were going to use a bucket as your water supply, this would attach to this fitting. So you pull back the collar, slip that on, and then the other end goes into your bucket. Or in my case, I was thinking maybe a stream or something like that. And in the front, this is your working end, let's say. Same thing, you got a collar, pull it back, connect that, and then also your sprayer. So now what we have to do is get some water. Now, the difficulty I've been having with trying to do this is it's been cold outside or it's been raining, and currently it's less than 50 degrees. So I may just do a demonstration showing how well this sprays. Alright, so for demonstration purposes, I have a 5-gallon bucket of water. I have the hose stretched out, and I will say this hose is really nice and flexible. The other one is pretty stiff. So just know that. I want to make sure this is down in the water, and I'm going to turn on power, and I'm going to hit the wash button. Okay, I saw the hose flex like it was drawing water, and it shows 38. I don't know what that means, 38 minutes, I don't know. But we're going to find out here in just a second how good this sprays. Now there will be some air in the line, I'm sure. So right now I have it on, we'll put it on stream, and we'll see what happens. Ready? Okay, so when I put it on wash, I had turned it on. I'm going to turn it back off a second. I turned it on wash, and it started to make, pumping sounds. Well, it wouldn't spray anything, and I realized something was wrong, so I double checked. What I did is I disconnected the fitting on the spray nozzle, and I let the air out of the line. And then this stopped making the pump sound. So we're going to see now what happens. So here we go. That sprays pretty far, actually. Not a ton of pressure, but if you're rinsing something off, or maybe even if you just want to use it to take a shower, this will be pretty convenient. So I close the control on here, and it stops pumping. So I'm going to go to shower function. Let's just see how that looks. Definitely pumping some water. And if you look, the water is going down in the bucket. Probably a gallon already is gone. So this would be good for, again, temporary use on certain things, as long as you have a water supply. Shut that back off. This says full. We'll see what that does. There you go. I'm going to set it to mist. Oh. Well, you could use it to water plants, I guess. That would be pretty handy, I assume. Cone. Okay, so it works. In that short period of time, I probably went through almost 2 gallons of water, but it did what it says it will do, and that's good enough for me. It looks like it works. Okay, let me give you my opinion, if you want it. And I'm going to be honest with you, because I try to be honest about everything that I do, anything I demonstrate, anything that I'm going to try to endorse. I like LOKITHOR, what they make. I expressed earlier in the video that I have the little version, or the previous version to this, where it was the jump starter and air compressor. I use that quite a bit. I'm very happy with that product. This, I am happy with this. I like the air compressor. I really like the jump starter. It has more power than the other version that I have. I like the fact that it has this cool light on it with the strobe and SOS and all that sort of thing. I did not test the milliamp battery power bank, 20,000 milliamps. I didn't test that. we know that you can just plug stuff in and it's going to work, right? Because it's a battery. Now, the pressure washer, I'll just have to be honest, I'm not a fan. I mean, that may be not what LOKITHOR wants me to say, but I'm not going to endorse something like that and say, hey, yay, go buy it. However, I will say it does what it's supposed to do. The difficulty I have is, what can I do with it? Like, I sprayed the vehicle with it. It worked. It sprayed. It did all those things that it says it will do. I just have to find an application that makes sense to me. As I mentioned, maybe you use it to shower off, right? If you're camping or something. Great idea. Maybe you use it for a distance where, let's say you're out in the yard and you don't have a garden hose or something that'll reach a certain area. You want to water some plants or something like that. It may take a little effort to carry water to that area, hook this up and spray it, but it'll do it, right? So maybe my problem is I just don't really have a purpose for that function. But overall, I still like the unit. It does what it says it will do. I'm happy with all the other features. So if you're interested, you can get one of these. LOKITHOR sells them. I don't know if I have, I'll have to see if I have an affiliate link. If I do, I'll put it in the description below. But, you know, it is what it is. I like it overall. I just have to find a use for the pressure washer. My opinion. I have to be honest. So, thanks for watching. I hope you got some information from this that'll help you if you decide you want to buy something like this, or maybe another version of it. That's up to you. But thanks again. If you would, leave a thumbs up and a comment on this video. And until next time, take care of yourselves. See you.